Welcome to episode 4.
I'm Lee.
And I'm Eric.
And together we're Bourbon Departed.
What did you bring back from Alabama?
Some amazing bourbon.
What do we got here? What is it?
This is the Dettling small batch, this 2-year green label, which is being discontinued. So if you see it, you might want to get it. He designed this to basically just be everybody's go-to, get new people into bourbon.
Gotcha.
He got rave reviews for years of women loved it. So, but they needed to step it up. So what they did was went and they're only going to have stuff that's 4-year minimum. Okay. So
from
this
here
is,
on out.
Yeah.
The 2-year was kind of like to get them started.
Yeah. And you can see, look at the color difference. Well, it's a little difficult, but you'll see in the media photos we're going to put out.
Yeah, that's definitely like noticeably darker.
Noticeably. So this is 4-year bottle and bond. This one we're going to have here is the season of January, July 2018 and bottled October 13th of 2022. So that is the bourbon that we were sipping in the interview. Okay.
Right. And if you guys haven't seen the interview, go ahead and watch because that's a pretty good interview. It's a little long interview, but Lee got some good stuff with Seth Dettling.
Yeah. So informative. Like listening to him, I didn't even have to ask much. I mean, he's just so full of information and knowledge and experience because they started back in 2014. Mm-hmm. Barrel number 1 because they are the first legal bourbon in Alabama.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's
barrel
cool.
1 is in that rick house is behind us from that interview.
Oh, wow.
Yep. With we'll put that in the media too.
Yeah, definitely. We'll toss that up there for you to see. That's something really cool.
Yeah, it's got number 1 on it. So this, how excited I was. That was
right.
Like that is so delicious. This bottled and bond. So
you guys sipped the bottle and bond while you were there watching while you guys were recording the podcast.
Yep. So right out of the barrel, nothing done to it, straight out. So this is 100 proof. I obviously following the whole bottle and bond act aspect. I'm really hoping that this should be similar to what I was sipping, and I'm really excited because I want you to.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it.
You've never had Dettling.
No, and you spoke about it before you went to Alabama.
Yep.
But and I had no idea you were going to score this interview with Seth, and that was super cool. Like Seth seems really down to earth.
Yeah. So I mean, even more backstory. Because I only talk about it briefly in the interviews. So I ran into this green label my first time into Hoover, Alabama. I believe it was 2019. I think it was 2019. And that actually is the first year that he made a 4-year item. So I didn't see that. I was introduced to this. I asked one of the local stores. It looked like it had a decent reputation, right. And I asked the guy, like, what is special to this area? And he pointed me right to this. So I had a green label 2-year in my possession, and obviously it's long gone.
And where were you when you got that?
Hoover, Alabama.
Hoover.
Yep.
Okay. And where is Dettling out of?
He is in Atmore, so it's like very south, almost Florida line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Far.
Like Panhandle-esque?
Very Panhandle-esque, yeah. So it is the same route for us to come home. It's just a little off, but
worth a drive.
Worth
the detour.
Oh yeah. So the distribution aspect of this bourbon is really strong. Alabama. So I have not seen it in Florida, but I would think maybe
I haven't either.
Not this far down.
No.
Allegedly, it comes to Florida.
Okay.
But
probably up in the Panhandle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So if you remember, I brought this back last November on another Hoover trip, and that's been on the stave shelf,
right?
Because we were, sort of like a prized possession, So he told me, he's like, "Yeah, it's discontinued, but open that thing up and drink it. Let your wife enjoy it, and maybe she'll get into these bourbons." And then he needs you to experience it, and then we obviously got this from the local store that is one of his distributors. And this was this is generally snatched up off shelves pretty quick. He has another one. He has the single barrel line too, which
Okay.
this is like a gold labeled. Now the single barrel stands out a little bit different because it's a darker, it's like a brown.
And that's out. Like you can get that.
Up there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw, because that's the higher price point.
What proof is it?
That varies.
Okay.
Yeah, and I believe he has to handwrite that in.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. So, didn't get that. I mistakenly didn't. I should have brought that back too. But this one, thank God, I did get this because it's exactly what we had in the show, and I just really want you to try it. But right now, I'm going to take myself back because I haven't had any of the 2 years 6 grain small batch for years. I haven't had it for years because I've been out for years.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I are both. We just opened these today. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
You've never had Dettling.
No. I haven't even nosed it or anything.
Right. Okay. So just to be clarified, so Seth Dettling started Biggest Scambia Spirits. Biggest Scambia Spirits is what does this. He's straight everything on site. Distilling, fermenting, distilling, aging, bottling. It's all on site.
Yeah, he
It is
seems
amazing.
really into his craft. Like
Yeah.
he seems super dedicated, and
Yeah.
that's cool to see. Just like small hometown
Yep.
type bourbon-esque.
Yeah, I wish you would have been there, man. So this 2 year, we don't have any notes. We didn't read what the flavor profile expectations are.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just try to call it out and see if we agree on this. It's 6 grain. It's got his corn that he sources,
right.
non-GMO, not sprayed with anything.
Yeah, he's very natural. He wants all of his stuff
Yeah.
to be, if you won't feed it to your animals, then why put it in?
Yeah,
in
and
your
if
body,
if you won't eat it, he's not going to distill it.
Right.
So all the grains are bakery level quality.
Awesome.
And the rye from Canada because that's what it's known. It's just a better climate. So all this is very particular. Everything was chosen by choice. There is no just what's going to happen. He's studied the other bourbons. He knows what he likes, and
that's the luxury of being the master
yeah,
distiller. You can choose all that stuff and
Yep.
and craft your spirit around that, and hopefully other people enjoy it.
yeah, and he's doing it because he loves it. I mean, he said this never gets old.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, you ready to try this? You want to nose this?
Yeah, let's nose it.
You got the caramel.
I feel like caramel apple. I smell like a caramel apple. But definitely caramel. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Not to put it in your head, but there is that the known citrus aspect to his.
right. I don't get as much citrus as I do get the apple. It reminds me of like up north, like apple picking, like fresh apples, like when it's chilly and cold. Caramel apple, yeah. That kind of overpowers everything for me.
I'm trying to get this apple, like you're saying. Okay. Yeah, I did a little weaker pull, and yeah, you can almost taste it.
Yeah, are you getting anything else or just the
The slight cinnamon, right?
cinnamon? I don't.
Do you get any vanilla?
Yeah, a little vanilla and cinnamon. I don't really get too much oak, which I'm surprised, but
Yeah, well, 2 year,
yeah.
So
But still, it's definitely not a bad smell at all. Like I can actually, it smells like candy to me.
oh, it's delicious. You want to taste it?
Yeah. I get a little bit of toffee or maybe some nutmeg or something.
I need let mine breathe a little bit. Does it remind you of anything? Like it's new. It's like almost a new, a whole new combination. It's 6 grains.
Right. And for For a 2 year, it doesn't have a huge bite, but it leaves a warm.
Oh, it's
tingle in your mouth.
it's up there. But
What proof is it?
it is 80.
Mm.
Yep. So, but you and I have had a lot of the 2 year. Well, on the shelf we have a lot of 2 year stuff to experiment with.
Right.
And though a lot of them leave you hoping for more.
Right.
This, you feel like it's more mature.
It's more full body. Look at the legs on that.
There's more to this than your typical 2 year,
So, Biggest Gambia stopped producing this one, correct? You said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Green's going to be. So the thing is I don't want to keep referring to it as green label. We'll do it for the show, but he has a rye coming out.
Okay.
And he wants it to be a new green because he thinks rye, he feels rye and green. It just would.
Yeah. Like the colors are kind of synonymous.
So there might be a new green or similar green.
Okay. I'm excited to try the rye.
Yeah. And the way he described it, I don't think it's going to be anything like we've had because he sort of modeled that by a unique rye that he's in love with. And
did he say what or no?
He did, but you and I both had not heard about it. It was higher end. So
I think he did say that in the interview that the clip that we recorded of you your podcast up there when you sat down with him at Rick House 1, right? You guys were right outside Ground Zero, basically. Yep. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, and as much as experience as he's had with that since 2014 or 2015 when he said he's still, he knows the corners and what they're going to do. And when we were there, we were kind of both facing where the sun was going down. You could tell, so that right side of that house, you see sun differently than the other side.
Right. And that all affects flavor and how the bottles or how the barrels, breathe.
Yep.
And just the entire different flavor profiles from where the barrel is sitting in the rick house.
And so behind me in that episode, that show is the best corner. He said he found out, like, he knows that corner. But the original bottled in bonds were done at a rack. And when you're looking in the video, straight through the opening of the door, in the way back, that is where those first bottled in bonds ever came from.
Oh, okay.
That location.
And you said it has how many rick houses now? Three.
Yep. So, the two new ones are like physically, visually, and build is not. They're completely unique from one. So one is looks the way it does, but 2 and 3, they're really cool. They're just black, and they just have. He wanted windows, but it didn't happen. So there's no windows. They have a really high foundation due to the flooding.
Oh, I imagine the flooding's pretty bad over there.
Yeah, his river can come way up.
I think he was saying like right into the rick house.
Yeah, right. That's why I wondered why the bottom level of the racks had no barrels. It's because the possibility of flooding.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that flood water mixes too well with bourbon.
No, he says that's not going to happen. So, the second to the newest rick house, that I believe it is got barrels laid down in it. Mm-hmm. That's in function, And then the third, the number 3 new rick house, that one is got nothing in it. I think it's just got empty barrels.
Oh, okay.
So it's ready to take on, to lay down more barrels in there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this next one, the bottled in bond, as well as just future products by him. I'm liking this so far, and if this is only the 2 year, then I can only imagine what's to come. But
it just doesn't it just give you more than a normal 2 year? It's almost, some of them, you wonder if you drank bourbon.
Yeah, especially at the 80 proof. You're like, sometimes it's not watery, I guess, but just you don't get too much flavor, and it kind of rolls off really quickly. But this kind of lingers with you, and it has it's very broad in flavor. So,
And I can see what he's saying with, and he's, he really wishes he could keep all the lines.
yeah,
But because people do sent him so many notes over the years of the drinkability of this. But there's only so much space, and once you taste that bottle and bond, you'll see why he's really want to just keep at that level. Do you want to have a second glass and leave that
of the first one?
Well, no, second glass side by side. We'll have a bottle and bond in one glass and a 2-year in one glass.
Yeah, let's do a side by side.
Okay. All right, let me grab some glasses. Look at that color.
I know, that's nice.
I mean, you can see that. That is amazing.
Yeah, look at the difference in these two.
So
super rich.
This one is in the interview. He talks about doing the oat to basically coat your palate with those fats, those oils that help continue the flavor in your mouth.
What did he say about the oats? Like, what's the deal with them?
So oats don't survive the flavor, I guess, doesn't survive the aging.
Oh.
Yeah, oats don't survive the oak.
Okay.
But the oils that he wants are still there. And that gives you, you'll experience it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, you can see how much,
that's super
see them
dark.
running down.
Yeah, look at the difference, how dark it is compared to the 2-year. That's interesting.
When you nose this, I think you're going to find a whole new.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Now picture that. So when we were in the bottling area, he had the bottling container full of this. I don't know how many, hundreds of gallons.
Right.
And to nose the top of that container, it was like IMAX. It was like 8K IMAX 3D.
It's like Glencairn times 4,
Yeah, you
4
could
billion.
I would just park myself. If I was on his property, I would probably never leave the top of that. I would just be breathing that.
Just put a little cot up there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm excited to taste it. Let's taste it.
You ready? Oh my God. Chocolate.
Oh, dark chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, how many other bourbons can you talk about like that?
No. Yeah, before that even rolled off your mouth, off your tongue, I was saying dark chocolate in my head. That's weird. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Look at those legs. Look at the fat on there.
And you can with the caramel on the back end, like
Yeah.
dark chocolate up front, but then as the bite starts to mellow out,
Yeah.
you get the caramel.
The thing is, I have not had. This is a first for me too. I haven't had the bottled and bond out of a bottle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't had it out of a bottle. So this is exciting because this is right on with what you're tasting. What I did.
That's awesome. I'm a little jealous. Not gonna lie.
Sorry, bro.
I'm gonna take me a sip of
You going back
the
to the
OG.
two?
Yeah, let's compare. Yeah, you can definitely taste that they're in the same family, but this is like 2-year is definitely more of a crisp caramel apple taste and flavor, whereas this is warmer dark chocolate caramel.
Vanilla.
Yep. A little bit of nutmeg.
Yep.
I can smell it.
Do you get any of the citrus? It takes some thinking about. Do you get any citrus on the BIB? I didn't initially until he kind of brought it to my attention. Oh yeah, now the apple aspect you tell me about.
I feel like I have to think about it. The citrus.
Yeah,
on the back end,
it's not bad.
It's not up front
because it's not bad. You know,
right,
you've had
right.
some of them turn citrusy, and it's not fun.
Right. Now, my favorite flavor about this is the dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like basically biting off a chunk of a dark chocolate candy bar, except in liquid gold version.
Mm-hmm.
So
his first pour when it was gone, if you noticed, he slung it and just coated all the sides with what was.
And that was with this.
That was with it. That was with the BIB, yeah. And he's like, "We're gonna let this air out." And that oat oil and everything just sat, and he handed that over to me.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not, it was like a chocolate air freshener.
That's awesome.
It was nothing left but that. And because that's proof of him wanting that aspect with that oat, you know, pulled it off.
Yeah, I'm excited to try that.
Man,
when I finish with this.
This is just so good.
And for 100 proof, just a sip on, it's really not overpowering, but your cheeks get a little numb, but it's a good numb.
It stays around,
mm-hmm.
which I think that's what you're paying for. I mean, you don't want it to disappear. Again,
right. Back
to things that just let you off the hook so quickly, and you wonder what you just drank because it's just not.
Yeah,
there.
I feel like the 2-year does that, which is not bad. It lingers around a little bit longer than normal 2-year that I've had previously, but it's still, like, compared to the bottle and bond, like, this stays around for a while. Have you tasting that chocolate? I actually want to take a bite of dark chocolate candy bar right now.
Like pair it, pair the bond and some chocolate. Yeah, I was lucky. We paired with. I was paired with. In that episode, I was paired with a cigar that happened to be very complimentary to that chocolate
awesome.
and the caramel aspect. Oh,
Do you remember what it was?
no, I never had that brand before.
Yeah. Do you see yourself buying more of this?
Oh, next time I go up there, I'm not wasting any time to stock up on the bottle and bond,
mm-hmm.
and I'll bring us back the single barrel. Okay, and compare. Maybe we go and keep rotating. Maybe we put bottle and bond on the table next time in the single barrel. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And see what we think about that. And there, I might be bringing a rye, but you know, I would like to go.
Hopefully, I'm excited for the rye.
I'd like for you to, like, we take a ride and just go up there and do another sit down with him in the rye.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah, that would be awesome if he'd allow it.
I think he would. He's got a lot of barrels laid down. Needs to move some product, and the aspect of the more talking about it, the better, because it will be his first rye. You know.
Yeah, look at those legs. It's from the top of the glass all the way down.
Yeah, they're so long.
Hopefully, after people watch this episode, they'll get themselves some bottles, because this is some good stuff.
Yeah, if you are like us, mid southern Florida, and you're gonna have to do some mail ordering or some.
Yeah, it's worth it though.
Something creative, or take a trip. It's not that far.
No, a couple hours.
Yeah,
a couple hour drive.
You know how we have ABC,
right?
They have, that area has a different ABC. It's called ABC Select. And they have a very intuitive app, which is great. And so let's say you get into Alabama and you want to get these. Mm-hmm. Okay. The app is great. It can tell you that it's a couple miles down the road. There's none here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you may have to drive a little more, but you should be able to know where you need to go to get what we're talking about. Now, if there's any green labels left, it's going to be it'll be a miracle.
Yeah, how hard is the green label to come by?
I don't think whatever's left.
Yeah.
If someone happens to discover a few boxes and puts it on the shelf one day, then the green will show up. But
the bottle and bond is still active. He's still actively making these. Yeah,
but it gets crushed like purchase, like because the flavor of that, the price point, people are.
What is the price point on
it? It's supposed to be. It's under 70. It's supposed to be under 70. Okay, if I'm remembering properly, because the bottled and the single barrel was the higher price point.
Okay.
And I think because people know that tastes amazing.
Yeah.
But we need to find out what the single barrel tastes like.
Yeah, for sure. Did he hint around as to what the single barrel tastes like?
No, we did not get into it because we didn't pour it.
Gotcha. Will have to be a future show.
Yeah, and I don't know if the single barrel was, some sitting in the new rick house. I don't know what's going to be allotted to what when we were there. But the rye is, I think, the next debut. That's the biggie, is the new rye.
Oh, you were right. That does smell exactly like a chocolate bar.
Mm.
Got a little drop left.
Is that your? That's
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy how that happens like that.
Yeah, he shocked me. I had never done that with a glass before. To see that, it's actually kind of an interesting experiment to do with anything you've finished and sling it and.
Yeah, I wonder if the more like empowering notes of that bourbon or that spirit, linger around. So like if you couldn't really pick up certain things in the tasting, later on you smell it, next time you taste it, you might pick up those.
Look at that. I wish they could see that. Maybe they can. Look at that running down.
Hell
just
yeah.
Hanging on. It doesn't look like a scotch or anything. It's different fats than that, or oils than that, and then those type of spirits. Very unique.
I like it. Hey, so pour me a little bit more of that bottle and bond, and let's hear about your experience up in Atmore.
Okay.
Be careful, this stuff's gold, Lee.
This is. I'm taking it we're not losing a drop.
Mm-mm.
Where you at? You good there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good there? Good Lord.
That chocolatey goodness.
That is so good. The wax came off of this one. Different.
It's like when Girl Scouts or whatever it is, whatever group sells those, the skinny candy bars with the caramel in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly what it tastes like.
The charity that raises.
Yeah, they break apart and they have caramel inside of them, dark chocolate. That's like if you were to chew on that and drink that.
True.
I think that's the liquid version of that. It's pretty much what it tastes like.
This this wax thing, it controlling itself like that. Seth was explaining how you'll have other brands if you don't, the way he needs this wax controlled, because you see it doesn't spread, it just stops.
Is it like temperature and everything?
There's a lot of thought to it because it is unique to this bourbon.
Okay.
So it's not infringing on any other appearances.
You mean the color itself? Or?
No, the shape. How it ends. See how it ends right here? It doesn't stream down. It makes no legs, in other words.
Right.
It stays. Because, how many other do you really see?
Yeah, like Maker's Mark is, like it looks like a candle, you dip it in it.
This is stopping here clean, doesn't infringe upon that.
Gotcha.
This is a very on purpose wax appearance. I'll just say that. So that's why he wants to keep using the green wax on the new rye, the 2 year wax to go over to the rye.
I think the color of the bottle and bond fits like the flavor.
Oh, and also
like, really well. It complements it.
I think you wanted me to bring up that they are doing the human trafficking awareness.
Oh, yes.
With a blue wax.
Yes.
So if you see a blue wax on a Dettling, you are contributing to assisting that.
Right. Not only are you getting a really good product, but
yeah,
your money's going towards
and it's raised
even better cost.
It's raised a lot of money. Yeah, it's
awesome.
A terrible problem. So yeah, any money towards it to assist is it's.
Yeah, I remember when you were telling me about that. That was really cool.
It'll be blue.
That was really
It'll
awesome,
stand out. It won't match a label. It may actually be some blue waxed bottled in bonds. I don't know, or single barrels. So I forgot to add that. I'm glad we did. So
let me know about what's Atmore like. Like, what was your experience up there?
Man, we had talked about getting out to his location later in the day, and I got to the area early.
Okay.
And a little early, and I didn't know how particular we needed to follow this meeting.
Right.
So I went into Atmore right away, and you drive in to this Alabama town, and they've got a little tiny main street. You know, once you get off the interstate, that road will just shoot you straight into Main Street.
Small town USA.
Yep. So they actually have the downtown's cut kind of in half by a raised railroad crossing.
Okay.
So if you're new to the area and you come up to this raised area, and those railroad bars, right, those safety bars, they are active. That thing comes through. Trains come through. I actually went into town twice because after the interview I needed to go have some dinner, and the guards went down and a train went by. I didn't know if that was old or,
right,
because our trains don't come through our town.
No,
there's no more trains here.
There's tracks,
right?
But all the trains are like sitting on them with graffiti,
right,
all over the side.
No, they have true active trains coming through. It's really interesting. So you have to stop a little sooner than the tracks. It's unique.
You actually have to follow the train track rules.
Right. And you better watch the safety bars that are on the ground that are kind of wore out. Some places you're not going to know where to stop, because then if you don't stop in the right place, the light's never going to change for you. I sat at a red light for a very long time, and there was no train coming.
Are you sure that wasn't just you, or?
It might have just been me. So you head out of there, you go on the other side of the interstate, and it's cotton. Because that's where I had to go when I was directed my way into Big Escambia Spirits. Cotton. Wow. It just happened to be. And Seth explained that what I seen, those do flip what they put in the earth to grow, like, depends, whatever. But when I was going through, it was cotton. And most of it had already been picked.
Really?
Yeah. So there was.
Is it cotton season right now? Like, is there a season?
I think it's over.
Know how that works.
I think it's picked up because it was twigs and just white remnants. Temperature wise, it's colder than we are used to.
Yeah.
But they do luckily have they have the seasonal swings that he needs to create, to get the flavors out of these barrels in and out. The methods the processes they go through over these years.
Yeah, I feel like Florida is not really good.
No,
great place to.
I don't think we can swing as much.
Bourbon.
That interview we started and the sun was up.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably, I don't know, 2 o'clock or something, and you'll see it gets dark because we talked so long. The sun went down, and we were shivering. It was cold. It was in the 40s.
I feel like time can get away from you though when you're drinking good bourbon.
Oh yeah.
So
in front of a rick house, and the aroma, even as small as that is. The aroma, it's its own thing.
It's not every day that you get it's every day that you could drink bourbon, but it's not every day that you could drink bourbon outside of a rick house.
Right.
And
the
with
aroma
a distiller.
Coming through. Yeah.
With the distiller of the bourbon that you're drinking. So.
And he's got the flavor notes down, and he knows he's sampled enough high-end stuff and everybody's stuff.
Right, he knows what his bourbon's supposed to taste like.
Yeah,
and if you're not picking up on something,
right, he won't do it. He refuse. Garbage will not go out. He will not allow garbage out.
That's awesome.
Not just to be bottled.
Not only is he just really excited about distilling in general, like he's quality control. He doesn't want to give a bad. Not that he even makes it. I don't even think he could make a bad spirit. Look at this stuff. This is 2 different bottles, and I haven't tasted something that I don't like yet. So.
No, it was really eye opening. We're new to this.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had a lot of one-on-ones. We've had some some conversations with people, but the knowledge and the experience that he passes on to us.
Yeah, I definitely envy the experience you had. That seemed like it was pretty cool. Seth seems like a real down to earth guy, and that's the direction we want to go with this. We just want to bring down to earth people drinking bourbon,
Yep.
To you guys and our experience with that, and hopefully you guys can at least get some of that experience with tasting it yourself at home, watching us ramble on.
Yep.
So
It's a win.
But I don't see this bottled and bond staying around much longer.
No, I have to get our hands on some of that more.
Yeah,
we got one.
sure.
We're going to keep that one on the back stave shelf. That won't get touched. That was just dipped when I was there.
Oh, that's awesome. You got dip it there?
Yep. The family, it's all family owned, family operated. So that will not leave that shelf. I hate to say never, but we should never touch that one. Yeah.
I don't think we will.
Yeah, we shouldn't touch that one.
I think we know where to find Seth to get more.
Yeah.
So.
And he ordered me to. I was going to save the green one too. He ordered me. He said, "Drink the green one." He says, "Just do it." So
well, bourbon's made to drink.
We're doing it, and this is a great comparison. I mean, we're talking a double age time here.
Right.
Double age. You can visually see what happens in that amount of time.
Definitely. Look at the difference. It's like a light golden
It's 50%.
compared to like a dark chocolate.
It's like a 50%, right?
Yeah, I would say it's like
The opacity.
watered down
Yeah.
bottle and bond. But it definitely has most of the flavor. Like you can taste both of them together. Like if you taste them separately, you can see that this came from this and vice versa. But it's just a
But if I
stronger-
would have done 2 pours, right, and I would have put them, I don't know if I would have said they were from the same place.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't really know. I really think they have their own unique qualities because when you double that time, actually that bottle we're drinking, that's a little over 4 years.
Right.
So, and God, up there, a couple months can matter. I mean, the temperature swings were pretty radical.
Yeah.
He said that he laser temp checks, and he said that he could have a ring to the barrel at like 120.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy. And I imagine that all parts of the rick house are like different.
Yeah. Well, he lasers them all, but so the new rick houses are, the expectation of them in the build and the design was for it to all be producing the same. There shouldn't be any surprises from different sections. Mm-hmm. He's got airflow on those, the no windows thing going on. So he's hoping the 2 new ones are just consistent, and we can have, if the whole thing is full of one thing, he's going to know what it's going to taste like.
Right.
And
what does he have? What is he producing now? What's new to come?
So there's
rye,
some,
you said?
Yeah, there's a rye laid down and basically ready to go. Mm-hmm. Labeling is being worked out. And so, yeah, labeling is another thing. This whole thing, this was designed on purpose. Okay. The horse and the soldier basically on there, and he is holding, it's a magnified piece of wheat.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, is it wheat
I didn't
or
notice
corn?
that.
Yeah, there's a grain. I don't want to pin it down to a grain, but there's a grain stalk basically. He's holding it almost like a spear, right? Mm-hmm. So what the aspect of that is, if I recall this properly, I hope I'm not butchering it, but it is Dettling's battle into the bourbon industry. In other words,
that's neat.
Okay,
that's cool.
Yeah, so he's riding this horse in the battle, and the name goes way back.
Right.
This is a deep name. This is got a lot of depth to it. So this is this modern distillery, this battle in this modern whiskey industry.
I think Dettling, biggest Gambia, is going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
They're just,
Yeah.
not that they're in the infantile stages, but he only has time to perfect what he's already perfected. This tastes amazing to me.
Yeah, and so his son at this point, he's got one that's planning to continue this whole thing.
Okay.
And he's learned it from being able to walk. So
imagine that. Imagine being you just learn to walk and you're walking around a rick house. Like you learn to walk in a rick house.
Yep. So there's another generation ready to, and look, Seth's a healthy guy. Mm-hmm. This guy's got a long time of work ahead of him. Yeah, he's a healthy guy. He's a strong dude. So, and then he's got a son that's going to continue. This is just going to keep going.
Good.
This is the beginning. This is really the beginning.
Well, hopefully, because...
Is this amazing or what? Now you see why I was so excited?
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to go back up there.
I can't even picture it. I don't even pin it to something else. You can have a multitude of favorite somethings, right?
Right.
And they don't have to be, you don't have to say, hey, I like Reese's, but I also like the Snickers and this Baby Ruth. I mean, they're all unique.
I've never tasted chocolate
no?
in a bourbon. I think it's really unique, and I implore everyone to try it, if you have a chance. Even if you have to drive to Alabama.
Yes.
Drive to Alabama.
Yep.
Take the trip and buy yourself some Bottle and Bond.
Yep.
If you can find the green label, the 2-year, get yourself some of that too. None of it's bad, but the Bottle and Bond is definitely worth it. The good experience. This is awesome. Thanks, Lee, for bringing this stuff back from Alabama. That was a really good treat. That was awesome.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it and got the flavors that I experienced as well.
For sure. Big thanks to Big Escambia again.
Big time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't thank him enough. Thanks, Seth.
See you guys next week.